So for today, I'm going to talk about intervals and steps. So with steps on the piano, it tells us the distance between two notes in the chromatic scale. Or when we are moving from key to key, we can say we are taking a half step. From C to C sharp is a half step or a semitone. Semi means half. So a semitone. When you add two half steps or two semitones, we get a whole step or a whole tone. So semitone is the same as half step, and then whole step is also the same as whole tone. Okay, with this we don't respect any scale. We can say maybe we are respecting the chromatic scale because the chromatic scale contains all notes on the keyboard. So when we move from E flat to E, that is a semitone, or that is a half step. When we move from E flat to F, this is two semitones, one semitone here, another semitone here, so that is what? A whole tone, or a half step, another half step, making a whole tone, a whole step or a whole tone. Okay, so with the half step or whole step or the semitone and then whole tone concept, we are talking about movements within the chromatic scale. Okay, now when we talk about an interval, we are talking about the distance between two notes within a scale. When we take the C major scale, for instance, the distance between 1 here and 8 here is an eighth interval. By this we mean this. In measuring the distance between two notes for the interval concept, what we mean is that the note you press first itself is the first interval. This is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So the distance here is an eighth interval. And when you play an eighth interval, that is just an octave, because oct means 8. So octave, 8 notes apart. Okay? So when you say an eighth, it means that a distance of what? 8 notes. Now, what is a fifth? When you're on the second degree of the C major scale or the supertonic and you want to play a fifth, you start counting by counting the second degree itself as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a fifth in the key of C. So when you are counting intervals or measuring intervals, you end up on keys within the scale. This is not within the scale. It is not within the scale of C major. But if you want to play an interval of this and this, we will consider this B flat as a 7 flat. So it is also a 7th. It's a 7th interval, but originally the 7 should be here. Remember, the intervals don't always start on number 1. It can be here, and then you have to play a fifth above or a fifth below. A fifth below will come this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want a fifth below from 7, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is about the interval. The interval helps us to understand chords and also sight read. So when you see a note on this, on the staff, this is space. This note here is going to be the next piece above F on the treble clef. This C is going to be the second space above F on the treble clef. And this is a fifth interval. This is a third interval. When you know your intervals, it helps make reading faster and easier for you. So that's about the intervals and then the steps concept.